You can basically look at new formats as a clean slate. You don't have to, but let me explain. For example, you could have been, I don't know, in a format like a couple formats ago, Dragon Rulers, Super Juve, Prophecy, Judgment Day. And you just either you couldn't afford the cards or, you just weren't playing good against the deck or you just, you're bad in general. You can look at a new format as saying, like, you can start over in a sense. Now, nobody's going to forget how good or bad you did last format, but when a new format comes, that's the time to prove yourself. For example, if I was winning a bunch of tournaments last format or whatever and doing well at regionals and stuff like that, then a new format comes, people will remind you about your goods and bads, but in my opinion, you have to at least do like semi good every format to be considered, what's the word I'm looking for? Consistent. It's kind of like deck making. Alright, if you're good one format and you suck all the other ones, sounds like you just had a really good format and you were on a roll, and overall you don't adapt well. Now, there's certain cards that like you can't lose because you'd have to be an idiot to misplay sometimes, but it happens. So, I'm just saying there's, super broken cards and they get banned or limited, blah, blah, blah. New format comes around, you get your deck up to par and you start winning a lot. You can win any format if your side deck and your main deck is, prepared for what the meta is. That's really the big issue. But you can start over fresh if you want. Not everybody's going to look at you and they're probably going to think if you did bad last format, they're going to be like, you suck. But then you can start proving yourself, by doing better in tournaments and making smarter deck choices and taking advice from people and taking advice from YouTube and blah, blah, blah. And, you might get some recognition, So, start from the bottom, now you're here. No Drake. But what I'm saying is, you can take this opportunity to clean your slate, say you were doing bad, and then, think about it. I bet there's a lot of you that hang on to a format where you were so good. Hear this all the time from certain people. Like 3 people come to mind. And they hold on to one format. And in my head, I'm like, so if you suck every other format, that makes you good because you were doing well one format? Now, don't get me wrong. If you like won Worlds or won Nationals, almost no matter what, unless you scrub for the rest of your Yu-Gi-Oh career, I guess you could say, I'm going to think you're at least a decent player, probably good, in my opinion, especially if you won Worlds then. Obviously you were on another level that day, that year, because it's easy in a sense to get a national invite, but to get a Worlds invite, that's tough. So I commend everyone that makes it that far. So just think about what I'm saying. Even if you did so good last format, try to do good this format. Try to do good in the next format, because then you'll be a respected player and people won't talk shit to you as much. Because I hear a lot of people complaining, they're like, well, I don't suck. Well, you don't do nothing positive, so obviously that's why people are going to rag on you. It's kind of like you don't get respect when it comes to your dueling game, I guess you could say, until you prove it. So if you go in a tournament, your first tournament ever, and you go 0-4, obviously everybody's going to think you suck. But then if you start going like 4-0 or start winning tournaments or start doing good at events, then everybody's going to, forget about that 1-0-4 time and be like, he really improved, blah, 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 did all this good stuff. So all I'm saying is take the formats as they come, adjust, adapt, look at it as a clean slate, don't dwell on the past, and look to the future. That's all I got to say. I'm out.